Hey guys, what's happening? So, ever since I got back into CB radios, I've been buying radios on eBay, recapping them, restoring them, kind of playing around with them. It's kind of a fun hobby. I don't talk much about them. I'm just more like interested in the technology. It's kind of fun. So, got a couple amps, a couple grants. Now, one of the first things I bought a few years ago was this SDRplay, and I just recently figured out or found out that there's actually a piece of software that comes with it you can get for it for free, which is a Spectrum Analyzer. And I kind of wanted to get that because I was feeling like one of my Grand here, my Grand XL was kind of off frequency on sideband. And because this one was totally completely dialed in. This one's perfect, the Grand 858 Grand. But this one sounded like it was off, like the sound was off, you know? Like it was slightly off frequency. But it's really hard to figure that out with a frequency counter. You know, I mean, this frequency counter is good for AM, but, you know, single sideband, there's no carrier on single sideband, so it's not a straight frequency, right? It's a span, right? So it's hard to figure out on the frequency counter. At least I haven't figured it out, I'm not sure. But, so this was pretty cool. This was a free software that came with it. RSP Spectrum Analyzer. Yeah, it's free. Like I said, it works with the SDRplay. I'm sure they have something like with a cheaper STR if you had like a RTL SDR, one of these ones. This is the one I originally bought probably 4 or 5 years ago. But it doesn't even compare to like the what's it called, SDRplay Duo. Let me show you this real fast. I just have my little radio that I pulled out of my Bronco recently. So I'm just going to do an AM carrier here. Take a look. And this thing's right on frequency. Yeah, you need an attenuator. I mean, I'm not sending the signal directly into it. I don't know if I even said that. That little heatsink thing right there is an attenuator. It's 30 watt, 40 dB. The reason why I got 30 watts is because, you know, if you're doing single sideband, I mean, it can definitely get up to, it can swing up to 35 watts. So I don't know what these weight radios are doing. Even though I do actually have watt meters and stuff, but yes, I wanted to basically check my sideband and see if I'm on frequency. So the cool thing about this, though, is each of these little knots. So that's 27.285. 27.385. So we're checking channel 38, channel 37, channel 39. So what I wanted to do is see if I'm bleeding over. You know, how far I'm bleeding over into the frequency, the other bands. You know, this is just AM, so it's pretty straight up and down. But with sideband, lower sideband, it should be like halfway between the two channels here. You know, I should see a signal here. All right, so I just had to hook up my Grand XL, the one I'm having issues with. So right now I have it on channel 37. Actually, I need to channel 38. I'm going to put it on AM at first just to see if I'm on frequency here. So right now it should come up right here on 27.385. Actually, I forgot I have this radio on still. Okay. So we're dead nuts. Like I said, what I'm trying to do is see how far it bleeds over, you know, into the next frequency. That's good. So I know AM is pretty dead nuts. Let's try sideband real fast. I hope you can see this. The thing is actually pretty cool. So I actually had to bring in the bandwidth a little bit. So what you have here is channel 38. In between channel 37, so it should be lower sideband. It should be between these two things right here. So that's, like I said, that's center right there. It should be between these two right here. Let's do it here. One, two, audio. So the bulk of it looks good. So it's in the right area. So I know lower sideband's working right. Now let's try upper sideband. So upper sideband should be on the right side of it. Upper sideband. This is pretty cool. I mean, dude, I already had the hardware. Because I was looking at buying the Spectrum Analyzer, but this is probably more than enough for. I mean, I'm just a hobbyist. I'm just playing around. I'm not trying to fix radios for a living. See, that one's a little bit different. So that's not on the upper sideband. It's a little bit. They're off frequency slightly, right? This one's over a little bit further over to the right, off the center line. So take a look here. Upper sideband, lower sideband. Actually, that was AM. Lower sideband. Well, a little bit. All right, let me go back to my Grand XL. Yeah, it's definitely, it's probably about 1 kHz over, shifted further this way on upper sideband. You know, one thing I also noticed, like when you turn the mic gain up, it obviously wants to bleed over more. And when I did the modulation test for modulation, that best pattern was right in the center. You know, when you turn all the way to the right, over modulated. But I can verify that because the more I turn the mic gain up, the further it wants to bleed over. So, all right, the more I play with this, the more I like it. All right, so I just want to give you an example of bleed over. So right now I'm set like 50% on the mic gain. So what we're looking at is here. I just want to show you the difference in 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So I'm right in the perfect lower sideband. Now watch when I turn the mic gain up. 1, 2, 1, 2. See how much it bleeds over? So now I'm like basically bleeding into channel 37, the channel next to it. See? So 1, 2. So I mean, I'd say like. Yeah, I mean the mic gain of this thing, if you want to be perfectly on like frequency, we're talking like 50% maybe. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So yeah, actually having the Spectrum Analyzer is pretty cool. All right, so looking at this, I mean, I guess I still need to learn how to turn these radios up, but I mean, this is a really cool tool to be able to diagnose this stuff because I didn't realize my mic gain. I mean, just having your mic gain too far up, I mean, can make it bleed over. Even though the modulation pattern looked okay, I mean, this thing seems like it's better, like under 50%, just slightly, you know. But all right, like I said, I mean, just I already had the device. I think they probably make some sort of like, you can even use like a RSP or SDR Sharp or any sort of SDR software. You just got to make sure you have a attenuator. You know, I'll put the link down below for the one I got, but yeah, this is actually a pretty expensive device. This was like $200 for the what's it called, the SDRplay, but it's definitely well worth it, man. The quality is so much better than the RTL SDR, the $30 dongle, but yeah, pretty darn cool. All right, awesome.